This is going to be a video on how to remove, what are these things called? Lint balls, sweater fuzz, piling. Okay, so I've got this really nice Jerry jacket, Jerry jacket, that it's just awesome. I love it. I've had this for a few years, longer than a few years, and I put it in the washer with one other jacket, and then I put it in the dryer and I take it out, and there's all this junk, so you can see all these white things. Now you would think you could just go in there. I think you can see that. I'm trying to pick that out right now. One of them came out. It's just stuck in the material, and it kind of ruins some areas of the sweater where it's fuzzing now. So I'm going to show you how to get it out. You can buy, there is a sweater, I don't know what they call it, a lint remover, a sweater fuzz remover. It's kind of like a rotary thing that spins around and goes, and it might latch onto some of this material, maybe some fuzz, and remove it. But, you know, there's not much you can do. I'm almost ready to, I don't want to throw this thing out. You can go with a scissors and some a magnifying visor and look really close and start cutting this stuff out. But I'm going to show you an easier way that, as long as you're careful, you're not going to ruin the material. You're not going to ruin it. You shouldn't ruin it. But it's kind of ruined right now. You can't really wear something like this. Well, you could, but it looks pretty sad. So if you like my videos, do a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, comment, you know, all that cool stuff. If this helps you out, you want to donate, to ask for my PayPal, please click on my Amazon affiliate links in the video description section. That helps me a lot. So if nothing else, do that. So what are we going to do? There are two ways you can do this. I'm going to show you both ways, and you really need to either have very good vision or you have to be really close up, and I don't want my head blocking the camera. So I'm just going to show you how it's done, and then after that I'll try to show you the end result, maybe not. So on the edge over here it's not so easy, but over here you can put this flat on a table. So what do we have here? We have a hand razor, a shaving razor. You have a little electric trimmer type thing for your beard or mustache. I'm sure a lot of women own one of these things. That was good. That probably got me a donation. Not. So I've got this shaver. Yes, I used it this morning. I'll admit, you should use a fresh shaver or shaving blade. But we got this stuff. You can see it's kind of stuck in there. So you don't want to shave like you're removing your, you know. This is not, this is to be used gently. So we have, let's just look at this area right here. We have this area over here. We got a little bit, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to lightly, not really doing much. Oh, there's a little piece of dog hair over there. I'm going to lightly. So what's going on now as I do this? It's, if you're careful, what's going on is these fuzzy things are above the height of the material. So if you rub the blade and you get it in the right angle, you are kind of tearing the lint ball in half. You're breaking the lint ball in half. So I went in one direction. It really didn't do much. I don't want my hand to be in the way. So I'll go in the other direction. And now you're starting to see something happening. So what's going on is it's breaking some of this stuff out. And then you can go in there and you can pick it. And after you trim your the fuzz, the bush on here, then you can go in there and see. So this is going to take some time, but we can see how we're already starting to get somewhere. You see this area starting to clear out now, whereas before, these little the sweater bush, the bush that you're trimming, was, look at that, it's almost cleared out in this one area. It was wrapped, the lint ball, the fuzz ball was wrapped around the fibers, and so you couldn't get it out. Now that you go in there and you lightly put this bushwhacker on here, it breaks half of the fibers on the top, and it makes it much easier to pull out. So this is a little easier, maybe. You have to be really careful because, like I said, if you're a woman with a beard, you probably own one of these things. So let's move this over there. So I worked on this area, but there's still a lot over here. And this is a trimmer. You put it on level. Now, if you got a lot of, if you have a fuzzy sweater, a very fuzzy material sweater, this might do a lot more damage because you're going to be shaving the fuzz on there too, which you don't want to do. But with something like this, it's got multiple speeds, it's battery operated, and that doesn't really look like it did anything. Did it do anything? But you can see now, as I start moving this around, this material's starting to come up. Whereas before, like I was saying, it's all wrapped around the fibers and you can't really get it out. Now, let's do, I just did that with the electric. Let's go back in with the hand blade, which is very easy to use. Light pressure on the top. Keep the blade flat. And you're just skimming over the top. I'm going to do a large area this time, because I have a very big jacket to work on. And at this point, it's either do this and ruin it or throw it out, because you don't want to wear something like this. People are going to think you don't know what you're doing when you wash your clothes. So we've done a big section of this. Let's just try to get the whole back area now. I'm going in different directions. Try to keep the blade flat. And this is going to save somebody some expensive clothing, I think. So donations are definitely accepted. So let's get this out of the way. Now let's brush this a little bit. And this is most of the back area, well, a good part of the back area of the jacket. And all this stuff is starting to come up. Yeah, you're going to have to start picking. You're going to have to pick at your threads over here. But before, this was going in the garbage. Now, with a little bit of time, and you could probably even put this back in the washer a few times and maybe break some of this loose. But see that? It's all coming up now. It's all coming up. Not all of it, but most of it. Okay, so this area is not coming up. Let me go shave again. Is it going to come up? Now it came up. So we got this whole area over here. This whole jacket is covered with this. The other side, no problem. This side, it's everywhere. So I am going to spend maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm going to finish this off. And I'm going to show you. It's even on the sleeves. It's just a mess. And we can see, like over here right now, you can see where it's starting to damage a little bit because it was in the dryer. It's fuzzing out a little bit. And there's just a lot of material everywhere. So I'm going to finish this off. Now that I see that there is a way to save this, I don't want to throw this out and buy a new one, even though I could. So I'll be back in about half an hour, show you what the final result is. Now for me, what I'm finding is one of the easier ways to do this. I was using the tweezers and picking a lot of it out, and that is a doable thing. Unless you've got really good eyes, you're probably going to want to use a visor, a magnifier like I am. So you can use the little tweezers, but what I'm seeing is doing a much better job. Like over here, a lot of these pieces are just stuck in there. So go in there with the shaver, go in both directions, break this thing loose, break your pieces loose as best you can, try to go in all different directions, and then see if you can pick it out with your finger or go in there. I mean, the stuff sticks all over the place. It's really difficult. Go in there with the tweezers and grab a few of your fuzz balls. So that's really the whole way to do this. You have to grab your fuzz balls. But a lot of this stuff, you just saw that I shaved it over there, and now it's starting to come out, and then afterwards, you're probably going to have to go in there with either the magnifier and the tweezers, or the magnifier and your fingers, and start pulling this stuff out. because it's really stuck in there. It's just wrapped in the material. And let me give you a quick show of what I just did on this side. Most of this area, this is the right side of it. It's all, well, there's one fuzz ball over there. The right side is, for the most part, done. From the under the arm to the front, all the way to the zipper. So maybe 20% of this is done. And then I went up over here into the neck area and working the neck area. It's a flat area. So now I'm working on the left side, and there's just a lot of this stuff scattered all over the place. So I'm going to go take the bushwhacker and do a little bit more trimming. You know, a combination of all of this, using the tweezers, using an electric trimmer, using a hand razor, using tweezers in your hand, and you see where, yeah, look, hopefully you can see that on the video right now. You can see how a really quick pass with this breaks up a lot of stuff. And not all of it, but it breaks up a lot of it. And then you go in there and you clean it up. And just using the tweezers in my hand, it does make some of the fuzzies stand out. And so using a trimmer like this afterwards trims all that extra, trims the bush a little bit on the sweater and makes it look much nicer. Okay, I spent about maybe an hour, 45 minutes, I don't know, maybe half an hour. So this is the left side of the jacket. I would say it is 99% done. Here's the back, lower back of the jacket. I'll just have a couple pieces over there. And it's probably no worse than if I didn't have all this stuff on there. Just some regular particles of dust. And on the right side, not too bad. Now let's go look at the top part, which for me has been a lot harder to work on. So the top part, the neck is almost done. The back, I'd say maybe 95% done. Let's check the sleeves. The left sleeve, some particles over there. I'm having more trouble underneath. You can also see that the jacket's starting to get old and wearing a little bit. What causes this? It could be old material in the dryer or the washer. It could be banging between something else. As I said, this was only in the washer and dryer with another jacket, and I don't know where this came from. My biggest problem over here is on the right side at the back and a little bit of the sleeve down over here. So what worked the best? That is a hard thing to say. What I found is that this is very effective. Wow, look at that. It's just, I've spent so much time working on this that it's just coming off really easily now. This is very effective at removing the top damage once it is broken loose from the fiber. This was very handy just to speed things along. And the electric visor, I mean the magnifier visor was really handy, so I was able to get very close like this and not damage the material. I was just able to glide over it to break the thread that is binding everything. Tweezers was handy, but I also found that I just stood outside, and after I broke all this stuff loose, I just stood outside and pulled this, try to break it and drop it on the ground so it didn't go flying on the table and getting hooked in here again. So overall, maybe, you know, yeah, it's a little bad over here, but it's not the end of the world. Let's see if I can clean that up really fast for you on the video. But if you go in one direction, at least for me, going in one direction kind of helped. Going in more than one direction broke the fiber, the material that was stuck, the little thread, the fuzzy, broke it loose, and I was able to pull it out. And this jacket maybe has another couple years on it. Next time I wash it, I will probably just put it in the sink and I'll hand wash it. But I'm a single guy, so that means like in 5 years or something when it needs the next washing. But it's not that hard to do. It's really time consuming. It's very time consuming. And it just depends. Do you want to throw it away and get a brand new one, or do you want to spend some time trying to recover it, clean it up? People are going to say use some Scotch tape or masking tape. Doesn't work because the thread, the little fuzzy, is wrapped inside the material and it's stuck in there. So it's not going to do any good. It's not going to help at all. Put it in the dryer on a fluff cycle. No, you're not going to be able to do that. Well, you could do that, but it's not going to help. It's not going to do anything until you break the fibers loose. So now, like right now that I broke this loose, I can put this in the dryer and hopefully it's not going to cause the same damage that I had before. That's the end of my video. Thanks for watching. If it had saved you a jacket or something, that's good. These are the things I use: the tweezers, my fingers, the visor, the bushwhacker, and the trimmer. 2 minutes in the dryer on the little fluff cycle. Not bad. I'm able to wear it tonight. Not bad at all. Not great, but nobody's going to really notice. No one's going to say, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy wore that thing with the fuzz balls. They'll probably say, it's worn out, he needs a new one.